Very good day, everybody. I hope you are all well. Thank you for tuning in. It's another live video with your personal funky sea pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. I will be the captain for today's flight, and this flight today will take us from Eindhoven in the Netherlands to Barcelona in Spain and Europe. We're using the PMDG 737-700 edition with the Transavia livery. So it's going to be a Transavia flight. I hope all the sound and everything is set up okay. It's been a while since we were streaming on the channel. But let's just dive into it. We got a nice little moon there in the top left of the screen. It's always nice to have a moon during daylight. Personally, I like it. I don't know why. Maybe because it looks like we're actually living on a planet or something in some system. But alright, so let's just hop on to the flight deck. So here we are in the 737-700. Just a little caveat up front. If you see this, sometimes my screen will just go up like this, the camera. It's something to do with the drifting in my the controller that I'm using to operate the aircraft. Well, at least some of the parts. Anyway, so that might be drifting every now and then, so no panic. I will be the one panicking when this is happening on the final approach or something, or during takeoff. Anyway, so here we are then in the 737-700 PMDG. It's a beautiful, beautiful aircraft. So let's just dive on in and start this sucker up. So let's start with the battery, and we get a little power here. The first thing we do, we align the IRS so the aircraft knows where it is. Let's turn on the lights here. But the battery is not a good idea for the airplane. The aircraft doesn't like it, so it will start beeping at us in a bit. So let's call the ground service. There you go, there's the beeping. So let's request the ground power unit. And you will see this ground power unit appear, and it will hook up to the nose of the aircraft, and it will supply the aircraft with the external power source, enabling us to save the battery, obviously. Okay, so ground power is now available, as you can see here. So let's turn that on and stop the annoying bleeping, and turn our attention to what is at hand. So let's start with the logo lights. So at least we are somewhat visible here on the stand. We're parked at Sierra 5 on Eindhoven Airport. Looks like there's a little church there in the background or something. It is a beautiful day. We're using real world time, real world weather. It looks like it's quite a nice day this morning, so that's always nice. Better than rain and what have you. Okay, so let's continue with the flow if the controls will allow me. Okay. Because we got some light going on. First of all, I always like to see what I'm doing, so let's just turn up the intake lights on the overhead panel. And we got some lights here as well for the center pedestal. So let's turn these all up, make our lives a little more easy. And these are always a little bit too bright to my liking, so I'm just going to make them a little less bright as well, so I can read them slightly better. Alright, so this is a lot better for me to work with. So got this set up now. Okay, so we are running on external power at the moment. I do apologize. So what we're going to do, oh, see, there goes the drifting. Sometimes the drifting is just gone, and sometimes it's like bothering me like 3 times in 1 second. So let's turn on the APU. It's going to start now, and see the other things we can do in the meantime. I think for now, no, let's just turn on the hydraulic pumps here. The engine, the wing anti-ice, engine anti-ice, and the probe heat and the window heat. And you know what, emergency exit lights, let's arm those as well. And yaw damper, not sure if it's going to take for now, but looks like it. Okay. So aircraft is power. So let's turn our attention now for a little bit to the, I think it's called FMC, Flight Management System, computer or something. Pardon me if I sound a little bit ignorant. Okay. So fuel for today's flight. We're basing our flight on a flight generated by the Simrit. So today's fuel should be, let me quickly check for you off the screen, 7,227. So let's say we're going to fly with 9,000, just a little bit extra. So we're going to do the fuel here. This is the easiest way to do it. 9,000 kilos of fuel, and that should now be actually real time be uploaded, updated. Obviously you can also do things real time, like real time defueling or refueling and everything. So let's turn on the seatbelt signs, and then we're going to set up. This is not annoying at all, man. I'm so glad. So let's set up the flight here in the FMC. There you go. Okay, so position initialization. So we are at the Eindhoven airport. So that's Echo Hotel, and we put it next to the Ref airport. And you get the coordinates, and our stand is Sierra 5. So let's put that in. Sometimes it recognizes these stands, sometimes it does not. But this gives you the coordinates, and you can click there, copy it, and paste it to the IRS position. So for the route, we're going to request it, because it's invalid. I always fall for this because it leaves the EHEH here in the lower left. So let's click on the request, and it's going to look for us. And there are 24 flight plans in the database here locally stored. So we're going to choose, what is it? There you go. Echo Hotel to Lima Echo Bravo Lima. So we're going to select it. Click select here, and it's going to load now. Okay, so you click the load button here, so it's uplink, it says uplink, route uplink loading. And then once it's done, you can select execute here, start burning, or there might be illuminating. First you click activate here, and then you click on the exit button. So let me quickly do a little sound check. Okay, so it seems to work. Alright, no worries there. Okay, so we got the flight plan here, and or well, somewhat. Let's have a look at it. So we got Lima November Oscar to Sopok, to RITAX, to Rasi, to Golf Tango Quebec. So there's quite a number of pages. We got 5 pages here for the entire flight. So far this looks fine, I guess, but let's put in the departure and the we can also we're also going to put in the arrival as well. So we're starting from runway 21. We're taking off runway 21. And what was our departure route was Lima November Oscar 6 kilo. This one right here, Lima November Oscar 6 kilo. So we're selecting it and we click execute. And then when you go back to index, you can choose now the arriving airport, which is Lima Echo Bravo Lima. It's Barcelona. You click arrive, and there, I believe, let's have a look. It's ALBER 1 Echo for 06 left. We want ILS 06 left. We want ILS Yankee 06 left, and then ALBER 1 Echo arrival. So we got those programmed in. Execute. So now if you go to your legs page, you will see there's from 5 pages, now it's actually increased to 8. But there might be some flight plan discontinuities, and you will see this momentarily. Looks like I did a perfect job. Oh, there is one route discontinuity. You simply click the waypoint after the continuity and then click on the empty boxes there and you execute. Okay, so it looks like we got a flight plan there. So while the pilot monitoring is now doing the walk around of the aircraft, we're going to set up the aircraft a little more. So we got the route put in now. So if we turn back to the inner page, we're going to put in the 0 fuel weight. Fortunately, you can just click this button here and it will fill it out. I'm not sure if I'm doing this completely correctly, but for now haven't crashed with it. So we're taking block fuel as 9.0 kilograms, or actually 9,000, and the reserves for today's flight. Checking the OFP. The reserves is 0.9, so let's just put in decimal 9er reserves. I believe the cost index was 80. Yes, it's 80, and flight level 390. So cost index is 80 and flight level 390. We're going to be cruising quite high. The cruising wind, we're going to get this from the OFP as well. This is off the screen, so I apologize, you cannot see this at the moment. So 248 at 06, 248 at 68. So 248 at 068. These are the cruising winds. Transition altitude out of Eindhoven is 3,000 feet. So we got that all in there, and we click execute. Okay, so next one's the N1 limit. Never really mess with this actually. Going to take off, so we're going to take off flaps 5. For now I'm using 21.7 for the center of gravity, and trim will be 6.01. So let's set the trim, takeoff trim to 6.01. You can see it's actually quite accurate, although it does have a fairly analog readout. But still, it's changing in very small increments, which is nice for precision. So we got this for the takeoff set up. The new runway remaining. We'll have to look at the charts. For this, let's go to the open the charts list. We got the taxi charts, and where is this one? Okay, so here we can see the runway length. The aircraft asking for it says 9,843 feet. So all we do is 908. That's what we put in the FMC. 908, because it's asking for a runway remaining. So it sort of knows how long the runway is that you're going to take off from. So now we got our takeoff speeds. V1 is 128 knots, rotate at 131 knots, and our V2 speed is 138 knots. This basically concludes the setup for now for the FMC. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a squall code. So excuse the excuse the poor camera work. My controller sometimes just totally acts up. Let's just dial in something random. I mean, we're not doing this online anyway, so it's all okay. And we're going to switch to TA only for now. So we got the route programmed in. You can check your route if you want. To do that, you change here to the plan option. You can zoom out, and you have an overview of the route, including the standard instrument departure and the arrival as well. So I'm happy with this. I'm just going to return and put it back on the map and zoom in to, let's say, 10 miles. There you go. So we got some idea of what's to be expected next. Okay, so the APU is started up by now. So let's turn on the APU bleed, and then we can get rid of the external power, and we can start up the engines and start taxiing. So after switching to we're not really switched to APU yet, until we select the APU generator. So now we're actually on the APU. So what we'll do is we're going to disconnect the ground power, and we'll turn to the FMC one more time. And you go to FS Actions, Ground Services, and Ground Power. You can click Release, and we're also going to release the stairs. You can see here on the left, door will close. The aircraft is now fully loaded with, well, everybody has boarded. We got all the... Vidas de Milo, good morning. How nice of you to join and say hi. So we're going to fly to Barcelona today with the Transavia. You're still waking up. Well, that's nice. So just take your time, man. Okay, so we got the door is closed, everybody's on the board, the seatbelt sign is already on, so that's good. Let's get rid of the warning there. So that means now we're ready to start up the engines and the taxi. So let's open up all the fuel pumps there. Let's see, in terms of lights, was there anything else? Let's not forget the pressure for runway cruising at 390, so, or flight level 390, I should say rather. Seatbelts are on, and the PO. So I think we should be ready for pushback. Maybe let's not forget a little bit more of the setup there. Okay, so flaps 5 takeoff, as you could see earlier. So we're going to take a take off with flaps 5, and let's have a quick look at what our departure is demanding. So we're taking off runway 21, which is heading 213. So we're going to enter this in the heading bug as well, just in case of an emergency. We can always, you know, fly the runway heading. Basically after 3.0 DME out of from the Eindhoven VOR, we will take a lefter to 089 degrees. We have a speed constraint of 220 knots. I believe the Boeing 737 will actually adhere to these speed constraints on its own. So we got 3000, and should be, let's just double check if 3000, yes, 3000 is also the transition altitude. So this is not too interesting at or above 1100, so I think we can fairly safe just go, it says climb to 060. Okay, let's start 060 for now, but this is usually actually for when there is controllers involved. But let's just do it for now. Let's do it in small steps. So we got 6,000 feet. let's turn on the flight directors, arm the auto thrust, and we're going to set the runway heading to 213 degrees. And I believe the course is usually also set to 213 in that case, in case you have to do an ILS landing at the airport that you actually take off from, in case of an emergency or whatever. Okay, so we got the course there as well. You could also, you know, put in the actual Eindhoven VOR as well, or sorry, the Eindhoven ILS, but we're not going to do this now. So let's have a look. This should all be fine, and let us go ahead and call the tug. The tug is connected. I believe the tug is not visible on the outside. That's a little bit of a shame, but yeah, so let's get going. So release the parking brake and reverse. So let's have a look outside. That's us reversing. So we're going to turn on left with the tail. Let's slow it up, slow it down a little bit. And let's see if we can get the engines started now. So engine number 1. And the N2 is starting up there, so that's very good. Let's go for the left turn now here. So we got 20% N2, so we can provide fuel, and then we're going to get N1 percentage as well. We'll start going up. There goes the camera drifting again. It's a beautiful morning. We got the moon there in the bright sky. It's always pretty. Always appreciate that. Okay, so engine number 1 is almost started. Let's stop the pushback. Let's get rid of the tug and turn on the parking brake. Okay, so here we're running. We got one running engine. So let's go ahead and start up engine number 2. This is going to start the same. The N2 is going to rise now, and then when it's around 20%, you can add the fuel, and that will provide fuel to the engine, and it will actually start up. Okay, so it looks like engine number 2 has started up as well. The button is clicked back into position. Let's turn on the runway turning lights and the taxi lights. Now we're going to turn on the engine generators, which means we cannot turn off the APU. We no longer need this. And let's then also turn off the APU bleed. So again, I apologize for the drifting of the camera view at all time. Okay, unless I've forgotten anything, I believe we can just go ahead and taxi now. So let's just start with taxiing to the runway first. So release the parking brake, and let's add some thrust, and let's get this Boeing rolling. You can see there's quite some wind. Look at that. It's pretty windy here today at Eindhoven Airport. We're going to take a ride here for runway 21. It was a very short taxi, so I hope the cabin crew is about done with the with all the emergency explanation procedures and everything. Let's turn engine to idle and provide a little bit of wheel brakes. So just easily just roll up to the runway there. Let's hold it here for a bit. Turn on the parking brake, and let's turn on the taxi light, takeoff lights, and the strobe lights. And cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff. Let's have a look at what is our current altitude. It's about 80. So let's put this on 100. So we're about ready to go. Now that we are here at the runway, we need to go to Itinerary. So let's do that. My apologies. We got trim, we got our flaps. Now all we need is the rejected takeoff for the auto brake. So we'll choose the rejected takeoff settings in case we need to abort the takeoff. Let's arm the lateral navigation. Let's also arm the vertical navigation. And I think that should be it. Let's have a look outside and see if there might be any oncoming traffic, because there's obviously no control here. But we're doing this offline anyway. So release parking brake and let's get ourselves onto the runway there. Today's en route time will be about 2 hours and 20 minutes. We'll be cruising at an altitude of flight level 3910. And we're flying the PMDG 737, Boeing 737-700 for a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, so parking brake set. Let's have one more sanity check. I'm not following checklists, so you know, I might forget things. I should actually have some checklists maybe printed out. Might be easier for me to then just actually use them. So we're going to fly runway heading, and then after 3.0 nautical miles from the OR, we're going to turn left heading 089 degrees. But the aircraft should be doing this for us. But it is always good to know what it is supposed to be doing, because you know things can go wrong, and they probably will. So if we're not there to intervene, then who is? Okay, so release the parking brake, press down on the toe brake, and we're going to set the N1 to 50% and let it stabilize. And let's go full toga thrust. Airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Rotating. Rotate. Easy. 10 degrees. And around 20. Positive rate. Gear up. So the autopilot is engaged now. For some reason, every time I do that, it turns off the vertical navigation, but that is now turned on. Flaps can go to 1, and they should actually go up already now. So flaps are going up. And we're going to give ourselves clearance to climb to flight level 390. I mean, there's nobody here, so you know, we're not disturbing anyone. So let's just take to the sky. 390 is laid in. We're past 3,000 feet, so we're going to click the standard QNH. So we are looking at the correct altitude. Now that the aircraft, the gear is up, let's lock it. I forgot to turn off the packs for the takeoff actually. Turn off the runway lights and the taxi lights. And here we go, turning left, heading 089er. Let's have a look outside. So if you're flying out of Eindhoven to Barcelona today, then you might expect the first turn to be a turn to the left. But as I said earlier, things can change, so they probably will. Okay, so let's look at what's going on. N1 following lateral navigation and vertical navigation. We're holding at 220 knots, which is perfectly fine. As you can see, no, it doesn't show us on the map here, but we got the max constraint of 220 knots. Apologies. So we will no longer really be needing this chart, I believe. Okay, so 10,000 feet. Let's turn off the landing lights. And the cabin crew can now go ahead and serve coffee and drinks and drugs or whatever it is that they got planned for our passengers there. Let's keep the passengers in the seat belts for a little bit longer. Let's check the rate of, let's check the degrees. We're a little bit above 10 degrees climb. Usually when you're sort of under the 10 degrees, it's a good time to let the passengers out of their seats as well, and they'll go peeing. Okay, so what else there to do? Not a whole lot. Basically, we're just going to cruise now. So the nose is dropped a little bit, so passengers can go and relieve themselves now if they want. That is quite a steep turn there. Okay, so another sanity check. So our speed is now increased. That's good. It's actually still increasing. 14,000 feet. So we got about 30,000 feet to go. A little more actually, until we reach the cruising level. So let's increase the range here on the navigational display. So we have some idea of what is next, what can be expected. Let's check the fuel here. We got 8.2 still on the board. We can check what the climb is doing. It's climbing to 390. Target speed 350 knots. So we're expected to reach our cruising altitude at 0930 Zulu, which is in about 17 or 16 minutes. And we can also check, well, let's see what it says with cruise, 390, target 0.796 Mach. And the top of descent is at 10:34 Zulu. That's in about, if I'm not mistaken, it's in about 1 hour and, really, let's have a look here again. Yeah, looks like 1 hour difference. From my current, I'm on Central European time. Anyway, we'll see it when we get there anyway. So on our way to Osgos, which we will reach now, and then onto Eindhoven, which we will reach at 5.1 nautical miles. I'm happy with the sunlight. Got some virtual vitamin D, if you will. There's quite some clouds there below. Fortunately, we're climbing well above those. Let's have a look. Is there anything else we need to do here? So we're on TARA, so that is good. We do not really need the radio stacks at the moment. The flaps should be fully up. Yep. And we can reset the auto brake, set it to off. Still requesting lateral navigation, vertical navigation, and auto thrust. And you can see here what it is actually doing, which is precisely that. So that's good news. This you get every now and then. It's quite annoying. You just click the altimeter horn cutout, and at least you won't hear the annoying horn the whole time. I believe something to do with a bug, but I don't know. Might be that I'm just ignorant and I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's turn off the wheel well lights there. And the wing inspection lights can go off actually as well. So put on some extra packs now. Wing anti-ice apparently is turned off. And let's also check the yaw damper, that also sometimes appears to be turning itself off for some reason. But it is still on, so that's good. So the cabin altitude warning will not go away, it will just stay with us. So now that we're climbing to the cruise altitude, let me get out my guitar. call me the funky simp pilot. They call me the funky sick pilot. Just get a nice little groove going there. So we got about 9,000 feet to go until we reach our cruising altitude. that, there's traffic ahead. Look at that, it's pretty cool. It's quite close. It's getting closer as well. Can we see which is delivery? Is it actually doing it for us now? Yeah, look, it's actually intervening. It's wow, that's pretty nice. Look at it. Looks like TUI or something. Clear of conflict, computer says. Okay. That is pretty cool, man. Look at it. Everybody going somewhere really fucking fast. Really nice. Okay, so what else is going on? Flight level 340. Traffic again. People. What is a good controller when you need one? Uh-oh. We crashed the sim. That is such a shame. Yeah, sometimes the sim crashes. So, well, better than the airplane crashing. At least it's just the sim. So that's quite a shame. Okay, so sorry about the crash. That sometimes the flight sim just crashes on your ass, and did it as well. I'm not going to start it up again today. So we'll see each other at some other stream. But thank you very much for checking. So let's put on the exit music a little bit here, and I'm going to thank you all for checking. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. I am your personal funky scene pilot, and hopefully see you sometime real soon. And everybody be well and keep loving one another. Bye bye.